This is good and evil. This is right and
Yes.
wrong. This is black and white. Simple as fact. It is criminal behavior to start an aggressive war against a country that's not even threatening us, that in fact had not broken out and made the attempt to create a nuclear weapons capability in their country, which would not be a legitimate casus belli for us to attack them anyway.
Okay, and I actually want to talk to you about Trump. And if you're just now tuning in, welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I am your guest host, Misty Winston. Jimmy's here as well. He's back from his trip. We're here with Scott Horton. And I wanted to ask you about Trump's waffling, because over the past couple of weeks, we have seen him flip-flop from negotiating to demanding total surrender and literally posting terroristic threats on Truth Social, where he's, threatening the life of the supreme leader and all of this stuff. I mean, literal terroristic threats. And now we've gone back we have 2 weeks for negotiations. So what is that about? Is this smoke and mirrors? Is he trying to bait? Is he giving them time for a false flag? What is happening with all of this waffling back and forth?
I really don't know. I mean, he's treating it as though it's some trivial matter that he can just play around with, like it's some argument about the budget with the Democrats or some kind of thing like that. I'll tell you the very worst one, and we have a story about this on antiwar.com today by Dave DeCamp, is about how there was a report that said that the White House has ruled out the use of atomic bunker buster bombs because they don't need them. They've decided that they're confident that even if Israel's 20,000-pound bunker buster bombs can't do the trick, that America's 30,000-pound deep earth penetrators will be able to do the job, and so they won't need to use atomic weapons. And then the White House issued a statement refuting that and saying that's wrong and that, in fact, all options still remain on the table. Now,
Crazy.
I don't believe that they're going to use nuclear weapons, and I'm not trying to panic people into quitting their job and moving out to the country and this kind of thing. But I am saying that that is absolute terrorism beyond belief to have a nuclear weapon state, the originator and signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, threatening a non-nuclear weapon state signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty with a nuclear first strike. When they are not threatening us in any way, they're not doing anything to us. We're only talking about whether our bombs are bad enough to get deep enough to blow up some centrifuges that they actually have the right to under that very same non-proliferation treaty. That he would dare to even, not directly, Trump himself didn't say this, but his White House did. For them to re-raise after a story debunks it and to reaffirm the potential use of nuclear weapons in this war is absolutely criminal, is absolutely terrorism, and especially on top of, as you say, warning the entire population of 10 million people of the capital city of Tehran to flee the city. And this is absolutely outrageous behavior. Trump should immediately be impeached and removed from office for this. And I'm not playing about that. And I think probably you guys are at least somewhat sympathetic to my idea that I hate the Democrats so much right now. They might as well have burned Waco yesterday. And I've rooted for Donald Trump 3 times. I've never voted for him. I never could because of Israel, because of this issue. I know better. But I have rooted for him to destroy his enemies, and especially in the Democratic Party, so badly. And so, I'm not quite Dave Smith where I went out and pulled the lever for the guy, but man, don't anyone confuse me with Michael Moore or some liberal sympathetic to the ruling regime on the left right now, or any political sense like that. This is good and evil. This is right and wrong. This is black and white. Simple as fact. It is criminal behavior to start an aggressive war against a country that's not even threatening us, that in fact had not broken out and made the attempt to create a nuclear weapons capability in their country, which would not be a legitimate casus belli for us to attack them anyway. Which, by the way, Harry Truman knew that the Soviet Union was making nuclear weapons. He didn't launch a preemptive war against the Soviet Union, which then again, Truman was a commie. He was surrounded by commies, so who knows? But then LBJ didn't launch a aggressive war against Mao Zedong. and he was a center-left
Yeah.
liberal. And he didn't invade China to prevent them from acquiring nuclear weapons. And Mao Zedong is the most violent and destructive man who ever lived in the entire history of the world. He's Stalin plus Hitler combined. And LBJ didn't say, well, anything is worth it to keep atom bombs away from him. In fact, Mao even said, hey, even if I get in a nuclear war and I lose a few million people, well, I got a few million more. Like, he was like that. He was an absolute madman, the most violent and destructive person who ever lived. And America didn't launch a preemptive war against him. But we're supposed to do this to the Ayatollah, who the Ayatollah is a horrible leader. If you live there, none of the three of us would ever want to live in Iran. But he's always been, I won't say extremely, but I would say mostly cautious in foreign policy. When George W. Bush handed him Baghdad on a silver platter, he accepted it. Okay, that much is true. But does that make him a threat to the United States of America? Absolutely not.
No, I agree with that 100%.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Toronto again, Red Bank, New Jersey, Northampton, Massachusetts, Concord, New Hampshire, Rutherford, New Jersey, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.